Hello, family of TeaBeeMilk. We are back with Taboo with TeaBeeMilk. Yeah, and we are still in our sex series for part dos. And if you notice, I'm back in Syracuse. Yay! Okay, so like I said yesterday, today we'll be talking about the 3 unions of sex. The first one we will be talking about is the alert union. The second one is the conscious union, and the third one is the soulful union. The first one is the alert union. Ba, 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 ba. This one is usually experienced during our first time of intercourse or after a huge heartbreak or something like that. This union is more primal than it is spiritual, and it can grow to be more like a vice or act as something like a drug. Because what happens is this state makes ourselves very, 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 very vulnerable to the situation, to the other person, to the consciousness of the aspect. So it becomes a very intimate exchange, and it makes you feel very, 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 very exposed. If you can think back to that first time, maybe like being uncomfortable taking your clothes off or keeping the lights on. And these are all vulnerabilities that you overcome in a quick instance. So what happens is both of you are working mutually towards this pleasurable moment of bliss together. As we, or these two partners, begin working towards this common destination, the conscious awareness within becomes heightened, but only because of the novelty to explore the other's body. So as we're exploring, what is happening is the alert awareness starts firing. This is not mindful. This is a primal connection. This instinctively will begin to take over. So every time we get in that situation and we feel that excitement and we feel that vulnerability, our adrenaline mechanism stimulates our alertness. And this is what pulls us back into that same primal pattern over and over and over and over, instead of it becoming and evolving and developing into a spiritual union. So the act becomes like a game in a sense to some people, and having sex becomes like collecting trophies every time they get to explore and experience a new body. And this is the addictive state in which it creates, because now what you're chasing is a momentary godlike state of consciousness that is only momentary. So you begin to crave it. You begin to crave the attributes of it. And then it takes over. So what's number 2? Number 2 is the conscious union. This is the level above that alert union. This conscious level is a little bit more mindful, but it's not the totality of the soulful union. Number 2, the conscious union can happen naturally or because you happen to fall in love. But what is happening on a conscious level is that our sense of vulnerability and stimulation begins to weaken and weaken and weaken. So our desire for that alert union of intercourse begins to fall away, and we begin to seek something greater than ourselves. As we begin to transition, not only do we begin to cultivate a more balanced form of spiritual sex, but we also begin to balance the primal instinct and the spiritual boundary within us. So these are like the animal-like passionate desires mixed with our sensual, spiritual, sexual desires. As we step into this playful boundary, we get to open new doors and experiences within ourselves and within our partner or lover. So in this place, we begin to listen to our sexual desires more. And we begin to explore our bodies. And not only explore our bodies, but explore our lovers as well. So what happens is you are experiencing a more conscious level of union rather than an impulse or an instinct. You're getting to understand the reason and the desire and the connection that you are experiencing. In our conscious union, we get to express our deepest sexual desires and love them and love our partners as well. In this stage, we build intimacy. This is where eye gazing begins with our partner to make a more soulful connection. And it creates this intense feeling and union of love and passion. Briefly takes us beyond the sense of self. It takes us somewhere beyond where we are, beyond mind, beyond thought. Just pure connection between self and partner and lover and spirit. This practice helps us to evolve into the next stage of union. This stage is the basis for understanding the totality of our connection with the spiritual as well as the physical. This is the foundation for us to transcend into a non-mind state, into a pure spiritual consciousness. As we pass through this gate into the soulful union, we become aware of this sexual intensity. And as we already understand that everything is vibration, we understand that this sexual intensity is also a vibration. So it acts as a ladder that ascends us to a higher and higher and higher intensity of vibration, leading us deeper and deeper and deeper into that soulful union. In this space, we become less identified with the physical satisfaction and that moment of bliss, and we seek to illuminate our soul so that we may embody our soul. So our sexual urge at the root comes from body as well as emotion. And when we're operating only off one, either emotion or body, it does not give the power that we need to ascend us to different heights. It's only when the two are in union and you become body, emotion, and spirit does that vibration have enough power to ascend us beyond self. As we reach a new conscious awareness, the feelings shift as well. We begin to feel boundless. We begin to feel pure bliss, not only in the moment, but all the time, because we are always in that connection. We are always in that conscious awareness. We feel warm, like the sun is literally beating down on us all the time. And we also start to experience what's called identity merging. Ooh, this is so cool. Identity merging is so cool because eventually you will experience this ego death. And it usually happens during the orgasm stage of the soulful union. So as you begin to see yourself as your partner and your partner as yourself, and together as one, as well as one with the spiritual energy that is flowing through you, you merge together. You merge the powers of yin and yang. You merge together the masculine energy as well as the feminine energy. And this is when you step in to the totality of the sexual union. And you can no longer feel shame or guilt in this space, because you come to understand consciously that sexual unions are divine. And it's divine at no matter what stage you are at, because you are always working towards the next stage. Whether you're consciously aware of it yet or not, there's something always pulling us and whispering to us over the loudness and the chaos of our thoughts. And sometimes events push us closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to that source, to that God source that's within all of us, if we do not go there willingly. So today, if you have any guilt or shame or sadness or defeat wrapped around the idea of sex, let it go. Because not only are you divine, and not only is the act divine, but the cradle in which that carries all of us is too divine. And it accepts us at every single stage. We are of God, of energy, of spirit, of soul. So we can begin to embody this nature and become one with all that is. You just can't be ashamed of who you really are. And you damn sure can't feel guilty for believing in it and talking about it and expressing yourself as it. One love, TeaBeeMilk family. I'm having so much fun here with this Taboo series. And I thank you guys for allowing your guards to go down so we can talk about something that's a little uncomfortable. I will see you guys tomorrow. One love.